Hello and welcome to Uncle Cthulhu Reviews. Today you can see I've got 3 Polish boxers. So I'm forming a wee formation of the Polish Vistula Legion. So my armies, although they fought at Waterloo at the Great Game a couple of weeks ago, are primarily for the Peninsula, and the Vistula Legion fought with distinction in the Peninsula. So who are the Vistula Legion? So in 1807, Napoleon inherited Polish troops in Italian service in Naples. So he created the Polish-Italian Legion. Now, what a legion means is it's going to be a formation which is going to combine cavalry and infantry. Often there were legions in the American War of Independence and Civil War, but that's generally what a legion is, a sort of a combined arms formation at a lower level than, say, our division or a corps. So there were Polish exiles, immigrants that formed the army, and Poland itself hadn't had a nation. It kept getting caught up in the wars between sort of German influence and Russian influence. So Napoleon formed the Vistula Legion, and it actually got the name Vistula Legion in Poitiers in 1808. And went on to serve with distinction through the Peninsular War, and it was certainly part of Napoleon's Grand Army that went into Russia and fought in the 1813 and 1814 campaigns. Now, the Vistula Legion was the Poles in service to the French, so it was basically organised along the French tradition, and it wasn't part of the Grand Duchy of Warsaw that formed. And their troops, certainly they contributed a whole load of Polish troops to the Russian campaign as well. So what I thought I'd do today was open the box, see what you get in it, and take it from there. Now there was, when I've opened these, I was missing some heads from the infantry. Certainly the Voltiger heads and some of the Fusilier heads. So Warlord Games are sending me them out, but I'm just about to go on holiday for a couple of weeks, so I thought I'd do this video before I went away on holiday. So, Polish Light Horse Lancers. Now, the Lancers started off as attached to the Vistula Legion and then got removed when Napoleon updated a whole load of chasseurs and chevalier into Lancer regiments. And then later on, Napoleon reattached some lancers to the Legion. Certainly the first Vistula Legion lancers at the Battle of Albuera were responsible for virtually annihilating a British brigade. I think there's 3 battalions out of the 4 of Colburn's brigade. So, actually, start off with the plastics. So the plastics are the same as Napoleon line lancers. You see the helmets. There's enough. 2 lancers there, 1 sword, 2 cavalry. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those spruce. That's 12 on foot. And the sword's important because often half the lancer regiments would have lancers and the other half would have swords. And then the metals you get in the pack. So a metal horse for your commander. I had to throw out focus. You're getting a bugler's head and trumpet, and you're getting the Polish heads. So there is 10 heads with the trumpeter and the officer. That's enough to give you 12 lancers, Polish lancers. It actually gives you a spare lancer as well. So I'm actually putting together a Spanish lancer unit, so the spare lancers will go towards that, and they're going to be sort of ad hoc helmets and hats. Now my regiments are also only 9 strong, so that actually gives me 4 extra bodies out of this set to be able to put towards that. So that's the Polish Light Horse Lancers. I suppose you could always paint them up red as the lancers from the Battle of Waterloo as well. So, Vistula Legion. So, one of the things you might notice about the cover art is there's no standards. So, the regiments weren't officially given standards until 1813, after the retreat from Russia. But I have a suspicion that there would be standards carried of some description, in the same way that the Prussian landwehr weren't officially given standards during the 1815 campaign, but I'm pretty sure they would have carried some standards. And certainly I was chatting to some of the reenactors at the Great Game, the Prussian landwehr, and that was one of the questions I was chatting to the officer about, and he says, yeah, they would have had some sort of standards. And actually, even just reading Wikipedia about the Polish lancers, just to make sure my facts was straight before I started telling them. And that talks about the regiment that fights in Spain on Napoleon's advance to Madrid. Can't remember the name of the battle. But basically, the lancers are expected to charge up a pass through 5,000 Spaniards supported by cannon, which they do. But they say they'll lose their banners, which were tucked away in a carriage at that point. So perhaps they did have some sort of standard. So, Polish Vistula Legion. So the box is based around the plastic infantry sprues. So these are kind of the earlier ones. So you'll have seen these before. So you've got a grenadier body with the boots and the epaulets, 3 regular bodies, backpacks. You've got heads, but the heads aren't important for this. Now you've got 5 of these sprues, which actually gives you 5 grenadier or Voltiger bodies and the regular sprues. This actually came about because originally I think the boxes and miniatures were 36 strong, which would have actually resulted in 8 sprues plus 4 metal command, which would have given you 4 grenadiers and 4 Voltiger sprues. We're also getting a metal section in this, expertly repacked by me. But like I say, these were missing some heads. The Warlord Games has agreed, well, not agreed, they offered to send me some when I spoke to them about it. So you have an officer and a bicon. We have a drummer without a head. We have an officer without a head, but he's modelled on this person here. And behind the officer is a sapper. Really nice looking model. Now in the box you get 12 Fusilier heads. And these are the Fusilier heads. Notice the smaller pom-poms. Get 8 of the Grenadier heads in that very obvious looking Polish cap. Now mine actually came with 2 lots of the Grenadier heads, but no Voltiger heads. To give you an idea what the Voltiger heads look like, I believe this is the one for the commander. So this officer's here, that'll be his head, as you can see. And the other head is very similar to the Voltiger head. I've just taken off the sprue there for the drummer. Notice the longer pom-pom and more ornate cap with this tassel coming down the side. So the organisation of Vistula Legion was 1 unit of lancers, and they were split up into 4 squadrons, and their list strength was 250 a squadron. There was also 3 regiments with 2 battalions in each regiment. So basically I'm looking to recreate our regiment of Polish Vistula Legion. So I'll have a nice brigade. Now for my Voltigers, I actually like my Voltigers to be a bit more animated. So I actually have, I'll pull them over, some of the French Voltiger skirmishing. Now some of these come with great quotes, as you see. So I won't be using the great quoted versions, and you'll notice the head swapping system. But there are ones without great quotes. So I'll be using those as my Voltigeurs because I like them just being a bit more animated. So I have, there's in each pack there's 2 with greatcoats and 4 without greatcoats. So I've got 2 packs there, so they'll do me the 2 stands of the Vistula Legion Voltigeurs for the regiments as well. So that's the Vistula Legion, what you get in a box. Like I say, I'm going away for a few weeks, so when I get back I'll be getting these built and painted. I look forward to getting them on the battlefield, and that's my review and discussion about the Polish Vistula Legion from Warlord Games. So you have a great hobby day, and I look forward to doing another video and answering all your questions. So I'll catch you later. That's goodbye for now.